Hey, what's up, everybody? JC here, and I'm going live tonight. I thought, tomorrow we're going to be kicking off the Hasbro PulseCon with some previews, and I expect there's going to be a news video coming tomorrow. But before, all that, and then this weekend, of course, Friday and Saturday are going to be the big reveals and stuff. So it's kind of going to be a busy week as we get into it. Also, it's my birthday on Wednesday, so I definitely probably won't be doing much on Wednesday. That's not true. I'll be doing a lot, but it is my birthday, so I'll probably at least take the evening off. But I thought today, like I said, I've gotten way behind on stuff that I have not opened, and I don't think I'm going to do like full on reviews or anything. So I thought I would just open them up here, and we can take a look at them together. I've also, which I'm sure is why a lot of you are here, is I've got stuff that we're going to give away, and we're going to give it away through a trivia contest. So I've got some trivia questions, and I'm going to ask, and then basically the first one who gives me the right answer that I see here in the comments will end up winning the prize. I'll call the winner out, and then they'll need to contact me via email. Now, one thing to note, this time at least, this is only going to be, the giveaways are only going to be eligible for those of you who live in the United States or have, at least a mailing address in the United States. I'm not going to be able to do international shipping on these right now. If we do this again down the road, I might try and open it up to you guys outside the U.S. But with these, I'm unfortunately, just with the shipping and everything, going to keep it to the folks in the U.S. But I'm going to give away one of the hard to get Cobra Troopers that I know a lot of guys have been stressing about. A lot of you Joe fans have been stressing about trying to get, even though I do suspect we're going to be getting a very similar figure in the regular line. So I don't think it's, I don't think this is going to be, this Target one's the only, shot you're going to get at a Cobra Trooper. But I've also got this NECA Batman figure. The Michael Keaton Batman figure that came out at Toys R Us. God, it's been 4 or 5 years now. So I'm going to be giving that one away tonight. We got this SH Figure Arts Chun-Li figure. Now this line never really seems to have taken off very well for SH Figure Arts Tomasi Nations. I guess Storm Collectibles has just been hitting it too out of the park. So, but I've got this Chun-Li, which I'm going to give away. And then finally, I've got a Marvel Legends Nightcrawler. So these are my 4 giveaways tonight. I've got 4 different trivia questions for you that I'll be asking as the night goes on. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I've got questions over here. I got you guys' comments over here, so I'll try and follow as much as I can while trying to do some openings. I got a lot of stuff, but my main, these Cobra Commander and, as I call him, Pimp Daddy Destro, probably these are the 2 I'm looking most forward to. But I've got a bunch of other stuff here. So I've got some NECA Turtle stuff. So a big shout out to Keith for hooking me up with this one at cost. I mean, he didn't send it to me for free, but he did find it for me. I've still yet to see any turtle stuff in my local Targets. So the only reason why I'm still collecting this line is as some folks have hooked me up, helped me find the stuff. I've got the X-Men, Pyro, and Rogue 2-pack. I don't know if I'm going to get this one tonight, but I still got to open that one. I got the Marvel Select Taskmaster figure. So I wasn't going to get this one. I mean, I actually think this is a pretty cool figure, but I wasn't going to get it. The price, this is a Disney Shop exclusive, and I think the normal price is like $35 on these now, and I just couldn't, find myself to pay that much. But then one day, as it happened, I just happened to click on there to see what they had, and they were having a sale on the figure. So I ended up getting it for like $22, after shipping it came to almost 30, but I figured, I couldn't pass it by. And apparently that it like like the discount only lasted for a couple hours, because when I went back to the site it was back to full price. So it was kind of weird. I've got April, so the April 2-pack, and this one a big thanks to Tom. He found this one in the wild for me, and Tom was actually gonna said he would send it to me for free, but I ended up paying him costs. As much as I appreciate it when people do that, I mean it's great, but I never feel comfortable just taking like free toys like that from readers and viewers. So I definitely wanted to pay him costs, but really appreciate those guys. I also have the first round of Masters of the Universe Origin stuff. And this is thanks to Chip for finding these for me, because again, my Walmart just, like in the last week or so, finally got Skeletors, like 20 Skeletors, which are that's all it's on the peg. Which, I mean, if you haven't been able to find any of the other figures, what's the point? I mean, why get a Skeletor if you can't get any of the others? So, at least He-Man, I don't know why they didn't ship at least both He-Man and Skeletor in equal numbers. That's beyond me. And I've also seen a lot of Walmarts that are just getting Battle Cat, and it's like, again, if there's no He-Man, what's the point? Who's going to buy just Battle Cat without He-Man? So, but Chip hooked me up with all of these. The only thing from like the first round of stuff that I still need is the Sky Sled with Prince Adam, but hopefully one of the stores around here will get it, or it'll be available online, or in a couple months I'll just go someplace else and get them, so I don't have to deal with Walmart anymore. But I got those to open up. But like I said, what I'm really looking forward to is, well, Cobra Commander, to be honest, is the main one. Pimp Daddy Destro is kind of a nice nod. It's I got the regular Destro. I mean, that's my preferred Destro, so I just got this. I picked this one up. I don't know, just out of nostalgia, I guess. But I've been waiting for Cobra Commander. You can't have a Cobra army without Cobra Commander. So, and I've got, I've been a sucker. I got the light blue one on pre-order, and I probably this week will end up getting the one, the San Diego Comic-Con one in the red and black, just because I love red and black. I really wish we got like a hooded Cobra Commander with one of these, and not all these same ones, only with different paint applications. But I'm sure they'll get around to giving us hooded Cobra Commander eventually. So let's see who we got on here. PC is asking, this top chat thing, where you guys, I guess, pay. I activated it, but this is my first time using it, so if I miss a question or something, I apologize. But you've been the best toy news channel on YouTube. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. I do really appreciate it. I try, trying to balance the sites, keeping the news on the sites and then doing YouTube. It can be a challenge, but I enjoy interacting with you guys here on YouTube. Let's see. Trivia. Yeah, we'll get to some trivia here. Let's see. Big Boss is in the house. What's up, Big Boss? I got your boys Mortal Kombat Spawn today from GameStop. Which one? Slot Master, the one with the axe, the one with the sword, or the one with what's the third one? The battle club, or whatever you call it. Am I going to be angry tonight? I hope not. I hope not. Some people thought I was angry in the last review, which, I mean, I'm trying to shoot. I want to shoot straight with you guys. I mean, I think I always have, but I opened up that, if you caught my review of the Nimrod set that I posted the other day, and I was trying a little different format, something similar to this, only in a video, and I opened up that set. I didn't really want the other figures. I didn't really want Psylocke. I didn't really want the Phantom X. I didn't have the previous Phantom X, so that didn't bother me too much. I mean, it's not a character that I like that much, or not not so much as like, I've never read any of the comics with him in it, so it's just not a character that I've been dying to have or anything. And I already had the Jim Lee style Psylocke, so I didn't really feel, if they'd given us like the Captain Britain version of Psylocke, I would have been all over that. But instead they just gave us a simple repaint, which not terribly surprising. But what irked the crap out of me was when I opened that setup and I pulled out that Phantom X and how rubbery those joints were, especially on those legs. And that's, the Rage figure I got recently was like that. I mean, a big bulky figure like Rage should not have super soft gummy joints and stuff. And it just seems to be that that's been happening more and more with the Marvel Legend line. So it's just, if we don't call Hasbro on this stuff, we the reviewers and stuff, who else is going to? So that basically I paid $80 and I got a figure I didn't really want in the first place, and then to top it off, it was made really cheaply with cheap plastic, and it was just like, that's just ridiculous. So wasn't really angry, but I was trying to emphasize how displeased I was with getting that. I'm gonna take a little drink here. This mic picks up like all little noises, so as I'm swallowing, you're probably hearing that. So sorry about that, but gotta keep from getting parched. All right, so we got Cobra Commander here. I'm gonna set Destro off here to the side for now. So Cobra Commander. I'm almost caught up on G.I. Joe Classified. Gung Ho is supposed to be here on Wednesday, so like a birthday present. Originally, it was going to be here on Sunday. I got him from Amazon, but he got delayed. So Amazon's been delaying a lot of Hasbro stuff recently, but it was only a couple day delays, so not that big a deal. I've got the Red Ninja. I haven't seen the Red Ninjas available at cost on Amazon. Only raised up prices from secondary people, sellers, scalpers. I don't know, but I wasn't going to pay $30 for Red Ninja, so. I've got them on pre-order. I've got 2 on pre-order from Big Bad, but Big Bad doesn't look like it's going to ship them out until either the end of this year or early next year. But that's okay. They're kind of cool, but Red Ninjas aren't my thing. But Cobra Commander, he's definitely a must for me. So, Salome, everybody. I don't know if you can see it. Just trying to. Salome, my cat here, she comes and tries and steals. Anytime I open a figure, she comes and tries to steal the accessories and then runs off with them. I literally have to chase her through the house sometimes as she grabs them and takes off with them. So she's a kleptomaniac. So he's got his Cobra sword. So this is pretty cool. It would almost be cool. And I'm not faulting Hasbro, but it would almost have been cool if they made this like a staff that you could like pull the top out and have like a dagger as opposed to just the sword. But I like the sword, and he's got the sheath here. So that's cool with me. I like that. I like that. This is an updated version. It's not exactly like the original. And I'm not one of those people who is upset that these figures aren't just exact replicas of the original 80s Joes. I wouldn't mind that per se, but I have no problem modernizing some of these figures, and now Salome is here trying to approach from another angle. But I don't mind these modern updates to the characters. So. And I think they've done a really good job with this one. I like the shininess on the helmet. So that looks really good. And of course he's got the silver on the top of the helmet. It's like, I think there's like a bomb up in here. If you try and take his helmet off, it'll blow him up, but blow you up as well so you can't see his face. I think that was in one of the episodes if I remember correctly. So, this looks great. Originally, I was kind of torn whether I wanted the light blue. That's why I pre-ordered the light blue one from Hasbro Pulse. I definitely wasn't buying into that whole... What was that website that tried to pretend like they were offering the light blue one, and then it was just the same one that everyone else was carrying? I forget the name of that, but I didn't buy into that. But I did pre-order the one on Hasbro Pulse. and you know, it's kind of torn whether I like the light blue or the darker colors. But I actually think I kind of like the darker colors, especially with the gold. I think the gold actually looks, as I say, every time I look at one of these figures, whoever designs this line just really must love gold. But I think the gold actually looks really good here. So, and he's got his little cape here. So definitely liking this. He's got the Cobra symbol, of course. Pretty good articulation. Give you a little mini review here. And he's even got Cobra symbols on his sleeves. So yeah, yeah. This is. I mean, I think GI Joe Classified is my favorite line of the year so far. As much as it's been a pain in the ass to carry, you know, collect, especially those Target exclusive ones. I still, right now, this is probably my favorite line. So, definitely loving that. All right, so let's look over here. Some more Cobra Law. Roger says the Joe digs are Snake Eyes and Baroness only. Tom Bowling's in the house. What's up, man? Which one has impressed me the most? Which Joe? That's a tough one. I mean, probably. Well, I mean, I'm really liking this Cobra Commander. Destro and Snake Eyes from the first wave are the best two in that wave easily. Even though I don't really think there's a bad figure. I truly don't think Hasbro has done a bad figure in this line. I really don't understand the overlove for Roadblock. You know, he just never to me was that major of a character to warrant two figures already, but both of them are actually pretty solid figures. Now, I don't like the weapons they gave Roadblock, and in fact, that's really the downside. My biggest complaint with all the figures in this wave are the weapons. I don't mind the modernized looks, but I think they should have given us, for the most part, their classic weapons. I don't think they needed to give us these futuristic looking things. I'm sure part of that's marketing, that they don't want to have realistic guns being seen with these figures, with the way, you know, people view guns these days, which is understandable. So I'm sure that probably has played a role in it, but I really don't like the weapon. Even like this gun that they've included with Cobra Commander. I'm not too fond of the gun. I like the sword, but this gun, it looks like a pirate gun. So, I mean, Cobra Commander's weapon has always been kind of funny with the blow dryer, but I would have even preferred that just as a nod to the original figure line than this pirate gun. So, I don't know. Weapons are definitely the weakest thing in the line. Good thing about weapons, though, is they are fairly easy. If you want better looking weapons, they're pretty easy to come by. You can either, you know, steal them from other figures, or, you know, there are places that sell them pretty cheaply online or even on eBay and stuff. So that's it. If there had to be a complaint about the line, that's probably the best thing you can have, just because it's the easiest thing to change. Chad, hey, what's up? What's up, man? Let's see. I hope I haven't missed any top chats, because I don't know if it... Again, this whole top chat thing is new to me, so if I somehow miss one, I do apologize. Ricky, hey Jay, wow. Is this the first live you've done? It's the first live I've done in a long time. Not the first one I've done, period. But it is the first one I've done with the live chat. So, but I did a few lives probably last year, but it's definitely been a while. I did actually. That's not true. I did try a live stream news video because now you can kind of like incorporate images and stuff, but it didn't go that smoothly, and I found it's probably just easier just to do a pre-recorded news video. So, Gray Fox, I recall lives when playing the Marvel Capcom. Yep, those were. I did that for a little while where I was playing the video game and doing the live stream, taking questions from you guys while you watch me play. Am I excited for PulseCon? So I'm not really excited for PulseCon. I'm always excited for new reveals. I love. I mean, just so first of all, what I primarily do is cover toy news. So whenever there's big major reveals, I always find that exciting. And then of course, a lot of the stuff is stuff that I personally collect. So I'm looking forward to seeing the GI Joe stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing the Marvel Legends stuff. You know, hopefully there'll be some good Star Wars stuff. But I tell you, I mean, just today Hasbro announced another round of repaints for the Mandalorian stuff, and it's like they're really, to me, killing my enthusiasm for Star Wars with all the repaints and reissues that they do. But hopefully there'll be some good stuff there. I don't really collect Power Rangers, so again, from a news standpoint, I'm interested to see what they have. But personally, I don't really care about Power Rangers. Same thing with Ghostbusters. If they have anything new for Ghostbusters, it's not a line I particularly collect. And honestly, from what I can tell in the stores, it's apparently not a line that a lot of you guys collect either. Because everywhere I go, there's Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, apparently, either the stores have just decided to really stock Ghostbusters well, or you guys just aren't buying them. But Ghostbusters, the Plasma series, has apparently definitely been deemed a peg warmer. So, not sure what's up with that. But for me personally, I'm not that big. I mean, I love the original movies, but just never been a huge Ghostbuster collector. What else? Transformers. Transformers, for me personally, I primarily just collect the Masterpiece stuff, but I'm always interested to see what they have. I'm still waffling, but I'm probably going to get that Quintesson set, the San Diego, or at least try to get that Quintesson set, the San Diego Comic Con exclusive one. I love the cartoon on Netflix. I think that was great, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. But I don't collect a lot of the Transformers beyond the Masterpiece, so I just really can't. There's just so many things I can buy, But and let's see what else. That's probably it, right? Ghostbusters, Power Rangers, GI Joe, Star Wars, Marvel. Yeah, so I don't really expect any surprises, any big new toy line reveals or anything. So, but I would say probably for this weekend, GI Joe and Marvel are the two I'm most looking forward to. See, Slotmaster paid $25 for Spawn. Would have to flip it at 40. Okay. Ucho, if I said that right, he loves his Ghostbusters. Sweet, and at least it hasn't been hard for you to find them. At least if you live here in the U.S., I don't think it's been hard for you to find it. Can't say that about many action figure lines these days. They need to make Mask. Yeah, I mean, Mask, I think will come eventually because I think they are working to get something out, either a movie or a cartoon or TV show or something. So when that happens, that's when Mask toys will happen. So, they're I think it was back in February. I think it's a movie that they're working on, and I think back in February they had a writer for it or something. So, I mean, those things, as we've seen with a lot of these toy turned into movies, they can take forever. Masters of the Universe and such. But I think with Entertainment One that Hasbro purchased, that large reason they did that was so they could further these things with cartoons and stuff. So I definitely feel, it might be still a few years off, but I definitely feel we will see a return of Mask one day. Let's see. You know what? Let's do a trivia question. Let's see. All right, so remember, only folks in the U.S., or you got to have at least a U.S. address. If you got somebody in the U.S. who I can ship it to, and then they can ship it to you, to knock yourself out. But I'm only shipping these to the U.S. So we'll start off with this Tamasi Nations SH Figure Arts Chun-Li figure. And I guess I should note that this was actually sent to me by Bluefin Distributors over a year ago. They sent it for me to review, and it just ended up on the back burner, and I never got to it. So I decided I don't want to give it away. So, I tried to pick questions that were kind of related to the stuff I was giving away, except I really couldn't find a good question for Street Fighter. I'm sure there's probably some out there, but I was in a G.I. Joe mood, so I did a second G.I. Joe question. So we'll go with this one. Okay, let me go over the rules of this. Okay, so this is how it's gonna go. I'm going to tell you my email right now. It's j@enewsi.com. That's the letter E and then newsi.com. When this video finishes, it's done streaming and goes to like a regular video, whatever you call that. I will add the email in the comment section, so if you miss it. But when I ask the question here, I'm going to be looking over here at your guys' comments, and the first one that I see with the correct answer, I will call out as the winner, and then you will need to email me to claim your prize. You can have until like tomorrow if you end up forgetting the email. But again, I can't put it up on the screen, but it's JAY at E, the letter E for entertainment, news, NEWS, I, the letter I for international.com. So you'll want to keep that, and then if I call your name after I ask the question, if you have the correct answer. So you can Google it, but the longer you take, the more chance somebody else is going to get the right answer to me. But the first one I see here, and I'm saying the first one I see here because if by some chance the right answer slips by me, it's hard. Sometimes these things scroll by so fast that it's going to be the first one I see and the first one I call out. I'm going to look, so hopefully it'll be the first correct answer. But that's how it's going to go. And again, you have to be in the U.S. So good luck to everybody. And here's the first question for the Street Fighter Chun-Li, and it's a G.I. Joe question. So, what Joe had to recite this phrase, "Hail Cobra Commander, the great snake rules forever," in the Pyramid of Darkness miniseries? This is from one of the classic cartoons. Which G.I. Joe, basically to get through Cobra security, had to cite this phrase, "Hail Cobra Commander"? Carlos, he's the first one I saw with the correct answer. Oh, yeah. Sorry, John. You misspelled it, but yeah, I'm gonna give it to Carlos. Carlos Escobales. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name, man. But he was the first one I saw with the correct answer, so he wins the SH Figure Arts. Email me j@enewsi.com and claim your prize. And congrats. So there we go. There's our first trivia question and prize. All right, let's open up something else here. You know what? Something else I've been waiting to open up. Let's go with a Masters of the Universe Origins figure. He-Man. We'll go with He-Man. So again, big thanks to Chip for finding these for me in the wild and sending them to me at cost. I do appreciate it because I've yet to see anything but Skeletor at my local Walmart. I have seen them since Chip sent me these. I have seen them available online at Walmart, even by actual Walmart. And this, so while we're on this subject, this is something that really has been pissing me off. So up until now, at least, and probably until about November or the end of the year, these figures are Walmart exclusives, meaning the only place that you can buy these at cost is Walmart. Yet Walmart is allowing other people to essentially buy the figures from them and then resell them on their own website at double or triple the cost. That to me is just ridiculous. It's not about allowing second party sellers use their website, but if it's your goddamn exclusive, I mean, that's almost, you can almost see that as like a scam. It's like, hey, you buy our figures and then we turn around and charge you so that you can then try and sell our figures at 3 times the price on our website. Because, you know, Walmart takes a fee from those sellers. They use their website to sell stuff. So they're making money. You know, they not only sold the figure to whoever's selling the figure, so they made money that way, and then they're making money because they're letting that guy then turn around and resell it at triple, you know, double or triple the price on their website. So I think that's absurd. You know, there should be somebody there that says, you know, hey, this is our exclusive. We really shouldn't allow other people to sell our stuff at double or triple the price. And some people, you know, if there was a parent who was interested in buying this for their kid, they probably wouldn't even realize. They'd probably, oh, wow, this is $30 figure, okay. So, you know, it's ridiculous to me that they allow that to happen. I've not seen that really happen with, I mean, you know, both Amazon and Target, you know, they allow third-party sellers to use their website too, but I don't think I've ever seen them sell their, you know, allow those third-party sellers to sell their own exclusives, at least while they are selling them themselves. You know, I haven't seen, like, you know, there isn't a third-party seller selling Nimrod at 3 times the cost on Amazon, or, you know, even Target is as much of a pain as Target is with their website and everything. I don't think I've seen third-party sellers selling their figures. You know, I haven't seen a third-party seller selling the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff at 3 times the cost on the Target website. So it's only Walmart that I've seen that happen, and to me, it really it's you know, it's kind of fishy because, like I said, you know, Target's just like double dipping basically. But all right, so open this up. You know, the packaging very reminiscent of the original toy line, which I did not collect as a kid. I was not a He-Man collector as a kid. I didn't really start collecting He-Man until the 2000 X line. So I don't know why. I watched the cartoon when, you know, when it first aired. I even watched the She-Ra cartoon when it first aired, but I never collected the toys. I guess I was too much into G.I. Joe and Transformers at the time, and you know, I guess my parents didn't want me taking on a third action figure line, but I maybe had one figure, if even that, from He-Man, but I never collected it as a kid. So, let's see, Roger says, Frankenstein's is full of NECA turtles. Well, Frankenstein's, that's in California, right? I've never been there, but I've seen pictures, and they seem to allow a lot of exclusives to be sold there by secondary. But that's, I mean, you know, I mean, scalpers suck in general, obviously, but that's still, you know, it's not like I'm advocating eBay not allow scalpers to sell stuff or something like that. I'm saying, you know, when it's your exclusive and then you're turning around and letting other people sell that stuff at double or triple the price on your website, that's just taking the absurd. So this is my very first Masters of the Universe Origin figure that I'm opening. I've you know, the WWE Masters of the Universe mashup figures, which are basically the same design and everything. Those I've had, but this is my first actual. I forgot to bring down my He-Man, classic He-Man. I didn't get like all the classic stuff, but I got a few here and there. I do really like the classic stuff. But I really wasn't willing to jump through Matty Collector hoops to get it. So, like I said, I only kind of got a few things here and there. But here's He-Man. You know, very reminiscent. Design is really kind of based on the original toy line. So overall, looks pretty good. You know, again, you know, if I had to choose, you know, I do much prefer the classic stuff, but you know, especially if you did collect the original toy line, I think these are a nice nod to that. We got He-Man's sword and axe. Let's see. Steven overall likes the figure. The weapons are kind of bland. Well, at least the axe. He-Man's shield. and then you get half the power sword. So, again, very reminiscent of the original toy line. A little better articulated, but certainly not on par with classics. You just get the single hinged elbows and knees. You don't really get an ab crunch, you just get the rotation. So, you know, basic articulation essentially. But now Mattel, you know, did announce that they are doing a new collector-oriented classic-like line next year, which I think is going to be heavily based on the new Netflix animated series from Kevin Smith. That's just my speculation. Mattel hasn't said that specifically, but that would be my guess. But hopefully they will mix in, you know, classic stuff in that line. Hopefully it won't just be all based on the new stuff. And I am hoping that new cartoon is going to end up being really good. And again, I really did like the new Transformer cartoon on Netflix, so I have high hopes for the He-Man cartoon. Hopefully it'll be better than the She-Ra cartoon. Even though, I mean, I didn't dislike the She-Ra cartoon, the recent one. Even though I've not yet watched the final season. But it got a little annoying after a while. But I still enjoy the original cartoon. So, He-Man, folks. Again, big thanks to Chip for finding these in the wild for me. I managed to get most of the second wave pre-ordered at Amazon, so the only one I didn't get, and I'm not even sure if it was actually ever available, was Trapjaw. But hopefully I'll get an opportunity at him. He's one of my favorites, so I definitely want to get Trapjaw. Alright, let's see. Mason is giving a shout out to Brad, DC Geek. I don't know if he's on here, Brad. If he is, hey, what's up, man? Classic action figures. The Masters of the Universe Mega Constructs line is awesome. Just picked up the Point Dread and also the Roton set. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge into like building sets, you know, Lego and that kind of thing, but those Mega Constructs definitely, especially the Masters of the Universe stuff, definitely look really cool. There's, you know, the castle. I mean, that Castle Grayskull playset that they did looked amazing. And they did it. Did they ever release the Technodrome for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That thing, I remember it's a couple years ago now that I saw it at, I think it was either Toy Fair or San Diego, but that thing looked amazing too. You also get the mini comic, which is actually looks like it's a little more extensive than the mini comics that come with the WWE mashup figures. So that's cool. Again, very reminiscent of the original toy line. So let us set these off. Yeah, I gotta keep an eye on our time here. I don't want to try and keep today's live stream to at least 2 hours. Let's see. Let's talk G.I. Joe, Roger. All right, what do you want to talk about, Roger? What? I love G.I. Joe, so let's talk away. For the memory of a lifetime, recall. Why can't they just upsize the 3 3/4 example Firefly? You know, like I said before, the modernized updates don't bother me for the most part. Now so one of the reveals I'm expecting for G.I. Joe this week, and I talked about this in one of the news videos, is Zartan is definitely about 99.9% sure is coming. So I am expecting, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, they say it's a preview, so I don't know if like each brand is going to get like one reveal. If they're going to do actual reveals tomorrow, I don't know. I hope they do like one reveal, like each brand maybe gets a reveal or something. That would be cool, but I don't know. But I do expect this week, at some point, we're going to see the new classified Zartan figure. And hopefully that one has, Zartan's had a number of different looks over the years. And I definitely, it doesn't have to be exact or anything, but definitely hope it follows along the lines of his original look more than any of the others. Would be awesome if he came with a skier, but it's not. It definitely looks like it's just going to be a single release, and I guess it would probably be too much to ask if it had color change abilities. You think they'll bring out Zaymot and Tomax? Carlos, I mean, I would imagine eventually they'll get to it. Will we see a classified Zaymot and Tomax this weekend? I haven't heard any grumblings of that, so off the top of my head, I would say probably not, but, who knows. I think we, possibly Lady J, Zartan, the new Cobra Trooper that's going to be a regular release, which will be interesting to see how that differs from the Target exclusive one, if at all. I'm assuming it's going to have some minor differences, but I don't think it'll be probably the same figure with just some minor differences on it. It would be, I mean, in the original line there was the Cobra Trooper with the red Cobra symbol, and then there was the Cobra Officer with the silver Cobra symbol. Had different weapons, a little bit different design. So they might go something along that route. Yeah, color change skin for Zartan would be awesome. Would be a nice nod to the original. Put him out in the sunlight. Any Marvel rumors, Oscar? Well, there's a lot of rumors out there. The Spider-Man wave. There's the Gamerverse Avengers wave. Second wave of that, which I think will probably have a MODOK Build-A-Figure. The Spider-Man wave, which will probably have a Stiltman Build-A-Figure. Eternals, though I don't think we're going to see Eternals this weekend. It was just announced, so we saw the new trailer for WandaVision yesterday. So that looks kind of interesting. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one yet, but Winter Soldier and the Falcon, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that one has been delayed till next year, so that was the one I was looking forward to the most, because it was going to have U.S. Agent in it, which was one of my favorite characters, so disappointed that's been pushed back, but I guess it's not too surprising. But, word is Black Widow is going to be delayed again, which I just wish they would release it on demand and let us see it so we could move on with the Marvel Universe, but it sounds like they're going to delay it again. But if they're going to delay that, that means Eternals is probably going to get delayed as well. So I think it's going to probably be a while. I am really amazed that not more of those Eternal figures have leaked out, just because they've got to be sitting in in a warehouse or something, and stuff like that always leaks out from the factory. We saw that one figure, but I'm really surprised we haven't seen more. And I really want to know if the Build-A-Figure for that wave is going to be a Celestial. So I don't really care. I mean, in all honesty, I really don't care about the movie figures, but if the Build-A-Figure is a Celestial, that's definitely something I want to see. Austin's done with the MCU after Black Widow. I don't know why, but okay. I don't like McFarlane DC Multiverse. They look weird. I don't think they look bad, but I am definitely tired of all the Batman. It's kind of getting absurd. I mean, the new wave that was announced this past couple of days ago, based on the Batman Last Night on Earth storyline. I mean, that's a lot. Those are designs that I think are perfect for McFarlane to take on. I just one Batman wave after another. If they would mix in some non-Batman waves, go back, alternate, I think people would be much happier. But McFarlane's going to do what McFarlane does, and it doesn't really matter how much we bitch and complain. Todd pretty much does what he wants, and there you go. I wish McFarlane would make a Batman figure. Let's see. Austin. I might watch Doctor Strange too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that the new Doctor Strange movie sounds interesting. Probably the Thor movie. I mean, some people are upset that they're bringing in the Jane Foster Thor. I mean, it doesn't upset me because here's the thing: Chris Hemsworth is not going anywhere, so that means Thor is not going anywhere. So it's a storyline, and if they do it well, then I don't care. Just like I don't care that they're bringing Falcon Cap into the Marvel universe. I have little doubt that Steve Rogers will return at some point. So, I mean, they killed off Tony Stark, and my guess is eventually they'll bring him back. So, um, you know, some people take this whole I guess woke or whatever you want to call it. I think get too wrapped up in that kind of stuff, and it'd be one thing if they just totally got rid of the characters. But I had this debate on the Marvelous News forums. Somebody was upset about one of the character. Oh yeah, it was in regards to Black Panther, because obviously with Boseman having passed away unexpectedly, they're either going to have to replace him with a new actor, which I think is going to be very difficult, or end up making Shuri the new Black Panther, which is in keeping with storylines in the comics. So I think personally that's the route to go under the circumstances that Disney has been left with. If Boseman hadn't passed away, then no. If they tried to replace him with Shuri, then I think that would have been at least long term. If it was like for one movie or something, I wouldn't have a big deal with it. But with Thor and those. But in the comics, why would you get? Did you get upset when John Walker became Captain America for a while? I didn't. So why get upset when Falcon becomes Captain America for a while? It's not like you didn't know Steve Rogers was coming back, or same thing. Did you get upset when they replaced Thor with Thunderstrike for a while? So why get upset when they replaced him with Jane Foster? Just to me, it's just what they do to kind of switch things up a bit, and they always go back to the standard eventually. So I don't see the point. And if it there's nothing wrong with if doing these things bring in a wider audience. If it brings in female readers, that's a good thing. If it brings in minority groups, that's a good thing. So I wish people would quit getting so wrapped up. I'm rambling, but I'm not worried. I mean, my biggest worry is for me in the MCU is how they're going to handle things like bringing in the X-Men, and how are they going to handle the Fantastic Four, and who's going to be the next big villain, the next big Thanos to work up to. Those are the things I'm concerned about right now, and I definitely could see them screwing up, and they had a very well laid out structured plan for the phase 1, and it's not clear if phase 2 and so on, especially with all the changes that keep happening, the delays, the purchasing of 20th Century Fox. I mean, when they mapped all this stuff out, I don't think they originally planned to bring X-Men into it. So they had to make changes and stuff kind of on the fly probably. So the biggest obstacle with the MCU is every movie is a piece of a puzzle, and when one of those pieces gets messed up or delayed or changed or what have you, it has the possibility of screwing everything up. And so far, my hat's off to them for doing a pretty good job, but a lot better job than like Warner Brothers has done with DC. But I definitely could see them stumbling, in the coming years with all the changes that have been happening. So that concerns me. But bringing in female characters or what have you and spotlighting them more or what have you, that does not concern me in any way. Yeah, I mean Kang, Kang's rumored, so that'll be interesting. Doctor Doom, I mean Kang and Doctor Doom have a very strong. I mean, if I remember correctly, Kang is supposed to be a future version of Doom unless they've changed it, they sometimes change that stuff. So, but at one point, I think it was said that Kang was like supposed to be a future version of Doctor Doom. So, you know, there could be a huge tie-in there. I mean, Doctor Doom's my favorite villain of the Marvel universe. So even though he's obviously not as powerful as like a Thanos or what have you, you know, he's probably, in my opinion, the most deadly villain of the Marvel universe. So, you know, they screwed him up in those Fox Fantastic Four movies. So that, you know, how they bring Doctor Doom into the Marvel universe, I want it to be done right, and that's what concerns me. So, you know, but at this point, there's nothing that says, you know, that is indicated that they are going to screw it up, but it is definitely, you know, there's going to be a high expectation there when they bring him in there into the Marvel universe, and you know they're going to bring him in. So let's see. I want a DC Doomsday to match my Superman. Slotmaster says. So I'm assuming you mean from McFarlane. Well, I mean, yeah, that Devastator almost practically is Doomsday, so you gotta imagine eventually they're gonna do Doomsday, even though that would mean a non-Batman figure, but... Doom would kick the hell out of Thanos. Well, yes, Doom could beat Thanos, but just power level-wise, unless, like, Doom has stolen the Beyonder's powers or something, he's not as powerful. Just like Captain America is not as powerful as a lot of other people, but you know you can't count somebody like Cap out. You can't count Doom out with his genius. So, but just power level wise, he's not quite on the same level as Thanos, which is what I mean. But yeah, Doom is the best. You know, he's the most menacing villain of the Marvel universe. So, at least in my opinion. So. Any news on 6-inch DC Spin Master line? Well, there is a 6-inch DC Spin Master line, but they have 5 points of articulation. They're made for kids. I don't think it's really something collectors are too interested in. I haven't seen them. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen them on shelves, but I haven't really been looking either. So, but there was at least supposed to be a 6-inch DC line. If you're asking me if they're not out and if they're going to be out, I haven't heard anything that says they're canceled, but. Like I said, they have 5 points of articulation. I'm not sure why somebody would be that interested in them anyway. But anyway, Mason Young, Taskmaster would kill Thanos. I love Taskmaster. He's a favorite of mine, but I don't know if Taskmaster would really be up for the task of taking out Thanos. Let's see. All right, let's do another trivia question. It's 10 o'clock. Let's dig into the prize bin here. Alright, we're going to give away this Marvel Legend Nightcrawler. So I got an X-Men question for you guys for this one. So again, in case you missed the first round, the way this works is I've got a trivia question I'm going to ask here. This is only open to folks in the United States, or you've got to have a shipping address in the United States. So, but I'm not doing international shipping on these this time around. And then after I ask the question, sorry, Siri is mouthing off in the background for some reason. Anyway, so I'm going to ask the question, and I'm going to be looking over here. And the first one I see, and again, the first one I see with the correct answer, I'll call out their name, and then that person will email me to claim their prize. And the email address again is JAY at the letter E, NEWS News, I for international.com. I will put, once this video goes to a regular video, I will put in the comment section the email address, so if you miss it here, you can come back tomorrow and get the email and contact me. But listen for your name for me to call it out. And again, this is going to be an X-Men question, so. And specifically, it's Nightcrawler. I picked a Nightcrawler question to give away the Nightcrawler figure. So, what was the title of the X-Men animated series episode that first saw Nightcrawler appear? This is the 90s X-Men animated series on Fox. No, Pride of the X-Men wasn't part of that series. Nope, not Night of the Sentinels. Not Night of Nightcrawler. That's close, Spider-Ass. Not Nightshade. No, no. Okay, this is almost like a trick question. What was the title? Nightcrawler. There we go. Mr. Martinez, you're the first one I saw with the correct answer. If I try and pronounce your first name, I'll butcher it, so I apologize for that. But Martinez, you're the winner of the Nightcrawler, so shoot me an email to claim your prize. Yeah, the episode was titled simply Nightcrawler. Basically, I think Wolverine, Gambit, and Rogue go on a ski vacation, and they end up in this castle where they think Nightcrawler is a demon or something, and at the end, by the end of the episode, Nightcrawler's help Wolverine refine his religion, faith, and Logan goes and prays in church at the end of the episode. But the episode was actually titled Nightcrawler. So. Congrats to him. All right, so we open another. All right, let's open a turtle. I'm almost afraid to open this online because if you're not careful with these, they have a tendency to break. So out of this wave 3, this is actually the one I've been most looking forward to, the April set. I have all 3. I'm caught up on this wave, but yeah. So the April one, figure I'm looking forward to most in this wave. And a big thanks to Tom for, again, hooking me up on this one. Finding it in the wild for me. Because, again, I've got 2 targets nearby, and neither one, I mean, I know the targets, excuse me, a little indigestion there. I had pizza for dinner tonight. Probably not the best thing to do before a live stream. But, I know my targets have gotten them, but like I don't think they ever sit on the shelves. And of course, they only get like 2 sets in at a time. Cutting the little twisty ties. I don't really care that much about the flip. I mean, I've already got number of foot soldiers, and I'm not really looking to army build. Of course, this one's battle damage. Not quite as battle damage as the one that came with Casey Jones. So, April. So, Turtles is actually another line that I never collected as a kid. In fact, I collected like the 6-inch ones that Playmates did. I got those. Of course, they never finished out that line. They never gave us like Krang or anything. I like Turtles. I watched the cartoon all the time when it originally aired. Got my arcade 1-up Turtle game. I love that game. But I never collected the toys. I guess I was a little older when the toy line first hit, so that's probably why it just never really appealed to me as when I was younger. I was kind of in that age where I kind of moved out of action figures for a little while. But I like this figure. I know some people complain about the head, but I think it looks pretty accurate to the cartoon. Joints are a little stiff, so I do always worry about, especially since I haven't taken a hairdryer to her to loosen them up a little bit. NECA stuff looks good, but it's very delicate. My Rocksteady and Bebop, both, like, I had little things break on them right out of the packaging. Nothing major, but it's always annoying when something breaks on your action figure. So, especially when they're hard to get, like these turtle figures. So, but yeah, I like this. I think it's pretty cool. I'm seeing answers come in now for the last trivia question. Sorry guys, you're too late. Or actually, let me make sure. I'd scrolled up to get the. That's probably why I'm still seeing answers coming in. Yes, Tiny Neck April. Yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't. Maybe a little bit, but I like this figure. I have the Mirage April that they did, but yeah, you can't. The classic yellow jumpsuit. And I know a lot of people like, oh well, I'm just gonna get the Super 7 ones, and I have no problem with the Super 7 ones, but again, because I didn't collect the original toy line, and that's what the Super 7 ones are based on, and that they're twice as expensive, those just don't really appeal to me quite as much. Her little microphone, real tape recorder, and she has a little movie or TV camera. Of course, she wasn't a camera person, so did she ever have an actual TV camera? I don't remember. Channel 6. So yeah, I like it. I'm gonna leave the foot soldier in here for now. Don't feel like cutting him out, but definitely one of my favorites. The next one I'm really looking forward to is the Krang and the Android body. Again, I was really disappointed when Playmates didn't deliver on theirs for the 6-inch line. So I think that's supposed to be going up for sale in the near future. Hopefully NECA will do the whole pre-order thing on that one, because I don't expect to be able to find it in Target. And I'm not going to move around too much until I've taken a hairdryer so I can loosen up those joints, because like I said, NECA stuff looks good, but delicate as hell, and I've broken more than one of my share of NECA figures, so yeah, I agree, Games, that the Super 7 April, that head sculpt did not come out too well. Again, it's meant to be based on the original toy line, so, but it just doesn't do much for me. We need a Lockjaw. Marvel Legends. Yeah, I would agree. But we got that Mezco one coming if I ever release it, so that probably would fit well with the Marvel Legend line. Let's see. What happened to Cobra Commander? Yeah, still, I love this figure, man. It's great. Do my Cobra Commander impersonation. Citizens of Cobra, I address you now. We shall conquer the G.I. Joes before the might of Cobra. I know, pretty weak. Everett is asking, do you think we're going to get a video game Hulk for the game, the green version? I'd say there's probably a decent chance of that, maybe in the next Avengers wave. Like I said, there should be an Avengers wave coming out towards the end of the year that should have more video game figures. And if not in the wave, then probably a single release, like a deluxe figure or something. The Old Man Logan 2-pack is amazing. The Hawkeye head sculpt could pass for a custom Joseph. Rogan Magneto. I don't have that set yet, but from the reviews I've seen, it definitely looks really good, especially the Old Man Hawkeye figure. Definitely looks really good. Nathaniel asks, hey Jay, do you think we'll get a Black Widow and an unmasked Cap? Not sure what specifically you're asking about there, Nathaniel. I mean, we've gotten unmasked Caps before, and we've gotten Black Widow, so maybe elaborate a little bit. Oh, from the game. I think we'll get Black Widow. I do think we'll get a game Black Widow. I don't know if we'll get an unmasked Cap. I don't know if they're going to reissue a Cap. Two Cobra Troopers, don't give it away. Keep it. Hi, Roger. Well, I actually have two Cobra Troopers. This will be the third one, which I thought I would not be greedy and give it to one of you guys who haven't been able to. Hopefully, it'll go to somebody who hasn't been able to find it. I'd love to see Serpentor in the classified line, Project 13 says, and I would too. And if they do Serpentor, hopefully he will have his air chariot. Speaking of video games, how many of you guys pre-ordered the new PlayStation? I did not. First of all, I've learned a long time ago to wait a little while on those, get the bugs out. Plus, just the whole, every time these new game machines come out, they're always like released in limited numbers so that they sell out like mad and everyone goes crazy. And then you wait a few months and then they're like available everywhere. So Zartan looks sick on the G.I. Joe game. Yeah, we only get like a brief glimpse of him, but yeah, hopefully that's kind of how he'll look, how the action figure will look. And it seems like, the designs are loosely connected between them, so. Andrew asks, what figure coming out before the end of the year am I most excited for? Well, I guess it depends on what figure I know is coming out and what figure I think might be coming out by the end of the year. I really, as far as things I know 100%, most of the good stuff that we know about is already out, so. But, I'm looking forward, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing the next round of G.I. Joe Classified. Of course, I don't think what sucks is I don't think the next wave of G.I. Joe figures is going to come out until next year, so early next year. So we got a ways to wait before we get our next round of G.I. Joe. Nathaniel's asking, what's my opinion on the Transformers Red? So I've not had them in hand. I'm not personally interested in collecting them just because what's the point of collecting non-transforming Transformers? But I don't have, for me personally, it doesn't do much for me, but Ricky is excited for the Back to the Future line from NECA. Back to the Future is kind of like Ghostbusters for me. The movies are great, but it's not an action figure line that I've never really sat around going, God, I want Back to the Future figures. I understand there are people who do want them, so I understand NECA doing them, so I don't have a problem with them. And from what I've seen, they look pretty good. The new Marty McFly from the first movie, NECA just released those images the other day, and it looks pretty good. I think the eyes are a little bit off on the Marty figure. The Biff, from what I've seen, looks pretty good. the Back to the Future 2 Marty looks pretty decent. Sorry. Like I said, shouldn't have eaten pizza tonight. But we've only seen like a couple images of the Doc Brown, so I haven't seen like any in-hand images of Doc Brown, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm like, nobody wants like Back to the Future 3 figures like in their Western outfits. I think that would actually be kind of cool, but I've not seen any demand for Back to the Future 3 Marty and Doc Brown. Sorry there. What do you think about the new Castle Grayskull coming up? What's your take on the release of it this year or the next one? Well, I think it's definitely coming. I think it's probably just a retool of the original play set. It would have been nice if it was the classic one, but I understand that one would be much more expensive. Hold on. Take a little drink here. But $75 for a playset in this day and age is not that bad. So I think it'll work well with the smaller scale figures. I don't think it'll work well with your classic figures. If you didn't get the Matty Collector Classic one, I don't think this will be a good fill-in for it. So we'd only get it if you're collecting the Origins figures. But it's almost definitely coming. I don't know exactly when it's going to be released. There's seems to be whether it's going to be in November or early next year, but it's definitely going to be released, and it should be released everywhere. It shouldn't be a store exclusive. So, let's see. Andrew, definitely. It seems like something you would want to have out before Christmas. I agree. I think probably November is where we're going to first see it. Maybe not everywhere. It may end up being like someplace gets it for. I mean, we're seeing that a lot these days where where the companies are giving preference to the big box retailers, which I don't really like. But, where they're getting the stuff for first crack at everything. I think it's ridiculous, but it seems like more and more of the toy manufacturers are doing everything they can to put the small guy out of business. So I think that's going to end up kicking them in the ass if that's what ends up happening. But corporations are going to do what corporations do. So do I think there'll be a regular Storm Shadow in the next wave? No, not in the next wave. I do think there will be one, but I don't think it's going to be in the next wave. Hopefully, I mean, it might be close enough, though, that maybe we'll see it this week. That would be sweet. Hey, Matthew, yeah, but everything's more expensive for you guys in Canada. But of course, you guys have been getting a lot more action figures, it seems like, than we have recently, so. Want to see classic action figures, wants to see Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any Dungeons and Dragons figures. Right now, at least. I don't think that's on tap. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Gilgamesh, I think companies have gone way too far with exclusives. I would agree with you. Again, there's just like this past year or so, it seems like, the toy manufacturers are doing everything they can to squeeze out the little guy, either giving everything as a store exclusive to the big box retailers, or sending stuff to the big box retailers like months before they send them out to the small guys. And then to me, I get asked this question about Hasbro Pulse. I do not like Hasbro Pulse, okay? I think it's ridiculous that a company like Hasbro is essentially competing with the likes of Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth and these small e-tailers. There's no need for it, okay? an occasional exclusive or something, like the San Diego Comic Con exclusives or like doing the HasLab stuff, that I don't have a problem with. But when you're selling all the same stuff that you're having these small e-tailers sell, I mean, you're essentially competing. So if I'm Big Bad Toy Store or I'm Entertainment Earth, I'm trying to outsell you, the toy manufacturer, and it's just, to me, it's just ridiculous. I think it's absurd. So I do not support Hasbro Pulse in any way. To make it even worse, Hasbro uses like their reveals and stuff to essentially try and get free advertising from websites like, what they call the fan sites. They basically, use these reveal sessions as big commercials for Hasbro Pulse. So every other word out of their mouth is, get it at Hasbro Pulse, get it at Hasbro Pulse. Well, it should be, you should be trying to support the small e-tailers that have been supporting you all these years and have supported this hobby, not trying to get people to pay $50 to join your premium service so you can buy your goddamn product. I find it absurd. And the fact that a lot of people seem to be okay with that. Like I saw somebody having well, you get free shipping. Okay. You get free shipping if you pay just a little extra money. If you want free shipping, go with Amazon Prime. Okay, I mean, you get a lot more if you from Amazon Prime than you will with Hasbro Pulse Premium. I mean, I don't know. A lot of things that Hasbro does these days on a corporate level is just annoys the crap out of me. I think it's counterproductive to the hobby in general. And I mean, Hasbro's not alone. A lot of these companies are doing the same thing. But I think at the end of the day, they're just kind of shooting themselves in the foot in the long run. I mean, in the short run, you might, they're kind of, if you look at it from a business standpoint, and probably some of you don't really care, but in a way, they are cutting out the middleman. So when they sell directly to you, that probably is more profit for them because they don't have to split that profit with the middleman, which would be the small e-tailer. But I just think that, first of all, I think the toy manufacturers should concentrate on making the toys, not trying to sell them directly. We've seen this blow up in these companies' faces time and time again. Look at Matty Collector when they tried it, because they don't put in behind the money to provide the customer service and everything that's needed. So it just never seems to work very well. And then, like I said, they try and use the consumer essentially for free advertising. I mean, they use Instagram, they use Facebook, everything to milk out free advertising. Get you guys to retweet and all that when they post their little commercials and stuff for Hasbro Pulse. So, to me, I just hate it. So, I'll leave it at that. Arthur, would you be interested in a custom black mask figure? I would love to send you one for free. I appreciate that, Arthur, but if you want to hit me up at some point, we can talk. But I'd certainly be in. I don't know if I'd want you to send me something for free, but I love seeing people's custom work. So, we feature a lot of customs on the websites and stuff. So I definitely would love to check it out. Green says, "What's up? Cool fix. Thanks, man." Are NECA making Triceratops? Yes. Yes, Everett, they are. Austin says, with the Hasbro Pulse tiered membership, I hope getting into the higher tiers will allow you to buy retail exclusives directly from Hasbro, so I don't have to track them down in the wild. Well, Austin, it's not going to work that way, because if they've given an exclusive to Target, usually there's some stipulation that says it can't be resold somewhere else for a certain period of time, usually several years or something along those lines. So I've seen this pop up where somebody said something about like the Target line getting discontinued, the exclusive way. yes, it's been discontinued. It was a one and done type thing, and frankly, I'm surprised we're still even seeing those show up on shelves at this point. So, but whatever's in the pipeline for that wave, the distribution pipeline for that wave is it. They aren't going back and making more and sending them out to Target. That's all that really means. It doesn't mean they're taking the exclusive away from Target and then going to sell it directly. It doesn't mean that they're never going to do Target exclusives again. I guarantee you they will continue to do Target exclusives. And so, will we see the figures re-released in some way at some point? Sure. Like I said, we got the Cobra Trooper, a new Cobra Trooper coming in the regular line, which will have probably some slight modifications to it, so it's a little bit different from the Target one. But essentially, it is probably going to be the same figure that we got at Target. And so I'm sure we'll do the Baroness. I'm sure we'll see Baroness released without the bike at some point. I have little doubt of that. We already had two gung ho or two roadblocks, and so, but you're not going to see the Target exclusive figures, the exact Target exclusive figures sold on Hasbro Pulse at least no time soon. Maybe variations or reissues down the road, but when they do an exclusive, I mean the retailer's paying for those exclusives. Hasbro makes money from that's why they keep happening, because the retailer is buying those exclusives, and we could talk for hours on end why this is to get you through their doors, things like that. But they're paying, Hasbro and these companies to carry these exclusives. But nobody's going to pay to carry an exclusive unless and then have it turn around and be sold somewhere else. Now sometimes we do see things where like the exclusive didn't sell well maybe or what have you, and I guess Hasbro ends up having to take them back, and then they end up putting them out either on their own or giving them off to a retailer or an e-tailer I should say to resell them. But like I don't think you're going to see that with the G.I. Joe figures. The G.I. Joe figures seem to be selling in part because they're being released in fairly limited numbers. I mean, if they started really flooding the market with G.I. Joe figures, I think they would be sitting on shelves to a certain extent. But with the limited numbers that they're releasing the figures in, they seem to be selling pretty well overall. Mr. Guppy is going to Walmart, wants to know if anybody wants anything. All right, let's do another giveaway. We got two more giveaways. Right, two. We're down to two, right? All right, let's do Michael Keaton Batman from NECA. So this was a Toys R Us exclusive. Actually, I have one myself, but I ended up picking up an extra one. It was like right before Toys R Us went belly up, and this was sitting on the shelf, so I ended up picking it up. It's not, card back's bent a little bit, so hopefully you're going to open it if you end up winning this. But this is a pretty good figure overall. Probably the best Michael Keaton that we've gotten so far. I know that SH Figure Arts one has started to see release overseas, so it'll be interesting to see how that one shapes up to this. But so let's recap this again. The way this works, we've got a trivia question here for you guys. It's Batman related. I'm going to read it here in a minute, and then I'm going to look over here, and the first correct answer I see I will call out, and that person will win. You do have to have, live here in the United States or have an address here in the United States. I'm not doing international shipping on these. And then you'll need to, when I call your name out, you'll want to email me at jay@enewsi. That's E as in entertainment, and then news, N-E-W-S, and then the letter I for international.com. And I will put that email address in the video description once it goes to a normal video. So if you miss it, you can catch it tomorrow and then email me. Alright, so here's the question for the Batman figure. And again, it's Batman related. Actually, I did some research. I didn't actually ever realize this until I just was researching and saw this. So, what well-known actor almost ended up playing the character of the Joker in the original Michael Keaton Batman movie? No, not Kevin Bacon, not Ray Liotta. Robin Williams, there we go. Uh, Maxine 1. Yeah, Maxine 1. You got it. It was Robin Williams. As I understand it, uh, Jack Nicholson was offered the role. I think he was who they wrote it for, but he kind of actually hesitated on accepting it, and so the studio got nervous, and so they went and approached Robin Williams to play the character, which I love Robin Williams, but I don't think he would have made a great Joker. Maybe, I don't know. At least not the Joker that we saw in this movie, I don't think, but I don't know. And he accepted the role, but then Jack came back and said that he did decide to take the role, and so they ended up giving it to him because, again, I think he was the one they wanted originally. He was definitely at that time, an Oscar-winning actor and everything, so that's who they wanted. But Robin Williams, they thought Jack Nicholson was going to turn the role down, and so Robin Williams was basically who they went to next, and was going to do it. So that one. So congrats to him. Again, shoot me an email, j@enewseye.com. This is a cool. You do want to be careful. Again, all NECA figures, you want to be careful, but I think it's a good figure. All right, so we got one more trivia question coming up here in just a little bit for the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Trooper, the Target exclusive Cobra Island one. So we'll do that in just a few minutes here. We're entering our last half hour of this live stream. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. I wanted to make it interesting. I didn't just want to sit here and just ramble on, which I've done some, but I wanted to try and make it fairly interesting. Brian Merchant, what's your favorite figure of the year so far? That's a tough one. It's always like hard to narrow it down to just one, especially like right on the spot. And sometimes I forget, like, did that figure come out this year or was it last year? But I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Because off the top of my head, yeah, I'd have to think, because nothing's like just popping out at me right at the moment. And like there are some that are coming into my mind, and then I'm like, well, no, that actually came out last year, so that was a last year figure, not this year's. You know what? Probably though, like I said before, I mean the G.I. Joe Classified figure is definitely my favorite line this year so far, even more so than Marvel Legends. So probably I'd have to pick one from these. And really, I don't think there's been a bad figure in this line to date. Some crappy weapons for some of them, but the figures themselves have all been pretty solid. So now the Cobras, I think, have been cooler than the Joes. I don't know if it's just in general, but I would say either probably Snake Eyes is a really good. That's probably the best Joe so far. I like the Duke though. I like the Scarlet. Scarlet's a favorite character of mine, so I like that one. I like the Baroness. I mean, I don't know. I like them all. Destro, Cobra Trooper, they're all solid figures. So I don't know which one. I'd have to think on narrowing it down, but the G.I. Joe Classified line, like if I had to give a toy line of the year award, it would probably go to the G.I. Joe Classified. Really, the only downside is just how much of a pain in the ass they've been to find up until this point, especially with that Target wave. How widespread are those rubber joints on? Well, that Phantom X, those joints, I mean, they're so soft. It's just like the only thing that really is keeping that figure standing is this coat. The trench coat on that Phantom X figure is actually sturdier than the rubber joints on the knees. Gung Ho, Stickman says Gung Ho is better than he thought. I don't have Gung Ho yet. He's supposed to be here on Wednesday for my birthday, so I'm looking forward to that. And then all I need are the Red Ninjas, which I have on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. And honestly, I'm willing to wait for that. I mean, if I saw them, if I happened to get lucky and found them out in the wild, I'd probably pick them up. But like, I'm not going out actively hunting for them. I can wait for Big Bad to ship them out to me. But I'm pretty much caught up once Gung Ho and those red Ninjas arrive. Thanks for the birthday wishes, guy. I'm getting old. You know, you get to a certain age where you'd rather forget your birthday than celebrate. But and of course, there's not really any place to go in this age of COVID. So, Old Man Hawkeye's the winner. I don't have Old Man Hawkeye, but it does look like a good figure. The only thing about Old Man Hawkeye is, I've read the original Old Man Logan story, but it's just the figure looks really amazing to me, but it's just like if I've been dying for an Old Man Hawkeye figure, and I'd have to say no, so that kind of takes away a little bit of the enthusiasm for me, but everything I've seen of that figure, it definitely looks nice, and with the new joint system, hopefully better than those rubber joints that I'm starting to see a lot more in the Marvel Legend line. Roger, you're the best, buddy. Thanks for all the years of toy news. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. My favorite figure this year, Killer Baby Lil AB. My favorite figure of the year has been the Rebel Tech My Hero Academia Deku. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Figure. Cool. I just saw the Rebel Tech, they just revealed the Rebel Tech Joker figure the other day for their DC line. Mars says, I will always be younger than him. I don't know how old you are, Mars, but getting old sucks. Like, I literally, like, in the last couple of years, like, I could not read the screen if I didn't have these glasses on, and I used to always have perfect eyesight, but like the last 4 years my eyesight's just declined, and now I always have to have these glasses on just to see the screen. It's annoying as hell. Do I collect Storm Collectibles or Super 7? Austin asks. I do. Well, I've not gotten any Super 7 stuff yet. I do plan on getting some of the Thundercat stuff. I have the Mattel figures, so I didn't feel the need to get the first wave of figures. So I still been kind of waffling on the Mum-Ra figure, just because I do like that soft goods robe. But at $45, I mean, that's what usually scares me off with the Super 7 stuff. Is just their prices. I understand it; they're a smaller company and all that, but still, my wallet can only stand so much. But I do definitely plan on picking up some of those Thundercat figures. And then as far as Storm Collectibles, I have the first round, like I have Sub-Zero and Scorpion from their Mortal Kombat line because they sent them to me when they first started the line. They sent them out because they were looking for exposure, which I thought they were pretty good figures. I've not really again, the price, it's hard for me just with the prices, but their figures look great. And like the DC stuff, the Injustice stuff, been really tempting, but I don't actively collect the Storm Collectible stuff. Andrew asks, what do I think of Funko 6-inch Legacy line? Never took off. Yeah, the Funko figures like the Game of Thrones, oh my god, talk about bad quality. Those things broke if you looked at them wrong. Tom Bowling says, at least I haven't given into the Funko Pop craze. I hate Funko Pops. Um, I mean, I've got like a U.S. Agent Funko Pop and one or two others, but I mean, I don't hate's the wrong word, but I feel like most people collect those things because they think they're going to be super valuable, not because they really like the figures themselves. And I just think, at some point you're going to end up with a bunch of worthless plastic. So I'm not a huge fan of that line for that reason. And it's one of those lines where they deliberately they limit a small number just to artificially inflate the value. I hate that. I hate that tactic. Mezco does that with a lot of their 112 stuff, which just annoys me. If something is truly a very well-made figure and, over time it develops a value because it just becomes, rare for whatever reason, that's one thing. But when you deliver, if I make one Cobra Command, if I make 3 Cobra Commanders, does that mean this Cobra Commander should be worth $500? No, I don't think it should. It's just how I view it. I'm sure there would be somebody who would pay, if there was only 3 Cobra Commanders out there, somebody would probably pay $500 for it. But to me, that's an artificially inflated value, and I think it's because I got burned on the comic. I collected comics in the late 80s and 90s, and I got burned on those. So when I see things like that, it just kind of annoys me more than anything. Manhandling the figures. Well, if a figure can't handle being tossed on the table like that, then it's probably not a figure worth having. No, I don't do that with the neck, but that's only because they will break if I do that. Where's my cat? My cat is in front of me, asleep in the chair, so she went to bed. So I don't think she's not gonna make an appearance tonight. I think she came. Yeah, she came by earlier. She was trying to steal stuff, but she's gone to bed. How do I feel about DC Essentials line ending? Well, I mean, just DC Direct in general, I think it's very disappointing. I've been hearing, I haven't gotten confirmation. I've been hearing word that I've been getting mixed reports on, like, I've been told by some sources, e-tailers, that they were told that anything that was solicited this year would still be released. But then I'm also hearing recently about figures being canceled. So I'm trying to nail down whether they are or not, like some of the Batman animated series stuff. But just in general, I think it's a shame that. I wish the the DC Essentials weren't bad, but Icons I think is probably the most solid DC line in modern times. I mean, some people might argue the Mattel DC Universe, DCUC stuff, but I never really got that much into the DCUC. I don't know why. It just didn't. But I really love the Icons. So I was always very disappointed when those ended. But yeah, DC Essentials. I mean, DC Essentials and the McFarlane stuff to me are very similar in design, but at least DC Essentials started out giving us a variety of characters, not just all Batman. So if McFarlane would start giving us something other than Batman, then Slotmaster says Nightcrawler was the first Legends I ever bought. I'm assuming you mean the modern Hasbro one, not like the Toy Biz one, which I still think is a very good figure. Just Plain Steve is going to grab the Hellfire Club set from Pulse on Wednesday. I assume that means you're a premium member. I'm going to have to wait till Thursday because I'm not. But I think as long as I'm online around noon, on Thursday. I don't think I'll have a problem. But I have not decided on which ones I want to get. I'm kind of waffling, mainly just because of the wallet. I mean, if money wasn't an issue, I'd get the Hellfire Club, I'd get the Transformer one, I'd get the G.I. Joe one, and I'd get the Marvel Legends Hellfire Club. I have no interest in the Logan 2-pack, the Logan movie 2-pack. I just don't really have any interest in that. But definitely would get the Hellfire Club one. But because money, unfortunately, is always an issue, I have not decided on which ones I'm going to get. I'm waffling, do I get a third Cobra Commander? Do I get the Hellfire Club, the main one I want is Sebastian Shaw, which I wouldn't be surprised if ends up getting released again down the road. I mean, I don't mind the others, but Shaw is really the main one that I'm looking for out of that set. So I probably will get that, but I want the Transformer one. I think that's probably the coolest one in my opinion. The Quintesson chamber from the Transformer animated movie, but again, money. So I don't know. It's going to be a last minute call, but I'll probably end up breaking and getting at least the G.I. Joe and the Marvel Legends and the Transformer one. I'm not getting the Star Wars ones because I know those are all going to be released down the road in the line. So there's nothing in those that I've already got the Wampa and the Endor box set is going to be, those figures are going to be released in single packs. So I'm definitely passing on the Star Wars. Let's see. Logan 2017 2-pack is all Andrew wants. Yeah, so I've said this many times, the Logan movie is not a favorite of mine. Not because I thought it was necessarily a bad movie, I just didn't really fit in with anything that came before it, so I don't know. So I'm not too keen on the 2-pack. In fact, I really haven't been that interested in any of those X-Men movie figures. If they had given us the original X-Men in their black outfits, like a box set of those, I would have gotten that. I probably will end up getting the Deadpool. Not that I want the Warhead figure that much, but I do want the Deadpool, so I'll probably get that set. I have not actively been hunting for Cable or Domino. If I see them in the store, I might pick them up, but if I don't find them, I'm not going to lose sleep over them. I don't think we're going to see those versions in the MCU, only probably the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, so that's really the main reason why I want that one. Main Event says, hey, what's up, man? X-Men Magneto says, X-Men movie legends are dope. Get Domino, perfect transition. It looks good. The Domino figure looks good. It's just, again, I don't know, because I don't think we're going to see that version of Domino in the MCU. I don't know. But I do think that both that and the Cable actually look really good. DC Fett says, what's up, man? Hey, how you doing? Don't want an animated headquarters. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Alright, well, we're entering the second half of the end of the second hour here. So, got one more giveaway. Redneck Trekker. Comic book Banshee in Jean Grey and classic green skirted outfit. I think we very well could see Banshee. I don't know about the Jean Grey, at least not in the immediate future. I would love to see the original X-Men in their original X-Factor outfits done as a set. That's something I would be interested in. Or the all-new X-Men, the young versions that came into the future, with their, not those not like that Toys R Us box set, but in their like modern outfits. That would be something I'd be interested in seeing. A new classic Daredevil on a new wall. I don't know, man. We've gotten a lot of Daredevils. I don't know if we need another one right now. I want to see U.S. Agent, updated U.S. Agent on like a bigger buck than what we got with that Bucky Cap mold. And I figure when the Falcon and Winter Soldier series finally comes out with U.S. Agent, I want to see some, I want to see some figures based on those Disney Plus series. I don't know if you saw the trailer for WandaVision with Vision in his Halloween costume that looked like his classic comic book look. Scarlet Witch too. We had seen that before, but the Vision was funny. We need well, I mean, there was a couple different versions of Iron Man in the 90s, but I think I know the one you're talking about. Like the one that appears in the Marvel vs. Capcom game and everything. That's one. Toy Biz did that version, but I would definitely love to see Hasbro do that version. Omni's asking, what Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle do I have on the table to the left of me? I don't have any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on the table. A little while ago I opened up the April Foot Soldier, if that's what you're referring to. RC got Trag and Granitor today. Awesome, man. Yeah, I've seen that started to show up early because NECA said it wasn't supposed to be out until next month. But I have seen reports of people starting to find that one. If I can get it, if I can find it, I'll get it. But that's not one, like, those aren't characters like I'm dying for. So if I somehow miss that one, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. But nice find, definitely. They look pretty good. Let's see, Gilgamesh. I've got to check Target. The new 2-pack is out. Yeah, like I said, I've been hearing reports. Salome's back, everybody. I've been hearing reports, and now she's trying to steal He-Man's shield. Tell me, Salome is a kleptomaniac. Here, you can take the little twisty tie. Just don't eat it. See? Runs off with it. Anyway, so yeah, that is starting to hit. I'm happy with the NECA Rocksteady Bebop, a guy. So, the super, like I said, my biggest problem with the Super 7 stuff is they cost so much. $45 a figure, twice as much as the NECA stuff. And again, they're also based on the cartoon as opposed to the animated series, which I didn't collect the original toys, so that doesn't have nearly as much appeal to me. Snow Meow, yeah, it was disappointing that we did not get Snow Meow with the Snowman figure. And I'm still curious in how they're going to release Snarf, because I can't believe they're not going to do Snarf. My best guess is they'll end up re-releasing the Mattel Wily Cat and probably throw Snarf in with that. Just market my cat correctly and you'll be a millionaire. Yeah, I actually, they actually have their own YouTube channel that I started at the end of last year, and then COVID hit and it kind of got off track. But because I have 3 cats and a dog. Used to have 2 dogs when I started the channel, and we lost one of them to cancer, Molly, which sucked at the beginning of the year. That's how I started 2020. But and that was like a week before COVID hit, so that's how the year started for me. But yeah, I started a YouTube channel with them, and had some plans for it, and I may go back to it, but COVID and stuff kind of derailed that for the time being. RC lost his dog. Yeah, I mean, it's different for everybody, but the animals are like we, because I don't have kids, so the animals are kind of like our kids basically. They're members of the family, so we spoil them and everything. So it's always tough. The worst thing about cats and dogs and stuff is they don't live as long as we do, so it's always tough to lose one. Yeah. I literally have had to chase the cat through the house trying to retrieve, and I've lost more than one lightsaber that's been chewed up to Salome. So she loves the lightsabers, and I have like glass cases up in my main office where I store figures. But if I ever leave the door open, and then she'll come along and, like I said, she'll start chewing on lightsabers or stuff. Or I've walked away, review a Star Wars figure, and I walk away for a few minutes, and I come back and she's taken off with the lightsaber, and then it's got a bunch of teeth marks in it. All right, so let's go on and do a final trivia question here. And it's another G.I. Joe question. And go over the rules here again real quick. So I'm going to ask this question. First correct answer I see on the screen, I'll call out the name, and that'll be the winner. And that winner will need to email me at j@enewsi, that's ENEWSI.com. And you'll be the winner. You'll email me, claim your prize. Now, you do have to live in the United States or have an address in the United States that I can send this to. I'm not doing international shipping. Not this time. Might do another one of these down the road, but right now I just can't do the international shipping. So, but so again, this is a G.I. Joe question. Now, this is one I kind of knew because I remember. Well, let me ask the question and then I'll talk about it after we get the answer. So, which major 80s action movie star almost became a G.I. Joe action figure? No, not Mr. T. Not, oh, wait. Andrew is the first correct answer I saw. Stallone, yeah, Sylvester Stallone, not Rambo. B-Rad said Rambo, which is close, but not Rambo. It was actually based on more on Rocky. But yeah, Sylvester Stallone almost made it into the G.I. Joe action figure line. They actually did up a whole thing on him, which appeared in one of the Marvel comics. I forget what they called it, but basically it was the Marvel Universe comic series for G.I. Joe, where they went over all the characters and had bios and everything. And he actually appeared. It was from Marvel, and he actually appeared. That character appeared in there, but he never actually got turned in. The plan was they were going to make an action figure. It's why Big Boa, who has the boxing gloves, was supposed to be Rocky's basically Cobra nemesis. But I guess negotiations fell through and they weren't able to get the likeness rights or whatever. So an action figure didn't actually happen. But yes, Sylvester Stallone was almost a G.I. Joe figure. And it was actually, because I remember, because I collected those comics. G.I. Joe's actually what got me into collecting comics. It was the first comics I ever read, comic books I should say, was G.I. Joe. And I remember, and I was like, wow, that looks like Rocky. But then, never saw it again. I guess, I was a kid then, so I didn't really think about it. But the plan apparently was they were actually going to make a figure and stuff. And it just didn't happen. Would have been cool, but. So congrats to him on winning the Cobra Trooper. And I think we're going to call it, we're about at the 2 hour mark here, going on 11 o'clock. Us old people, we gotta go to bed. On the East Coast, I'm sure some of you on the West Coast, it's younger. It's earlier for you guys, but hope you guys enjoyed this. I really, obviously, I'm going to keep doing the news videos because that's what I enjoy doing the most, and that's what you guys seem to like to watch the most from me. The reviews, I did that review the other day of the Nimrod, tried to change it up a little bit, but I mean, last time I checked, or just a little while ago, I mean, that video had 1,000 views, so, I've got over 50,000 subscribers, so when it takes over 24 hours for a video to get 1,000 views, it's like, that's you guys telling me you're not interested in it. And so, and I get bored of just doing the whole action figure in front of the camera thing. Not to mention, I'm not getting the figures early. I'm like one of the last people to have them. So I know by the time you're watching my review of a figure, you're probably watched at least one, if not more, from other people. There's so many people reviewing action figures these days. It's just, and I'm not out there trying to buy figures, pay more to get them early or what have you. And I just live in an area where it's not conducive to doing that. So Salome's back here looking for more accessories to steal. No, you can't have Cobra Commander. But so, I want to do reviews, but only if I can find a way to make them interesting. And I'm not really looking to do skits. I know, some guys do really good skits, and those seem to work well. I'm not into doing stop motion. I'm not into doing the super fancy toy photography. I mean, I love toy photography. I love looking at the toy photography, but I don't really think toy photography like that, where you're doing really fancy, extensive backgrounds, is the place to do in a toy review, because anybody who's got the talent can make the crappiest action figure look good, and there's websites and people who basically, instead of doing actual reviews, just do the fancy toy photography, and it's cool to look at, but I don't think it really gives you a real practical look at the figure. So I don't know, if I can find a way that I feel is interesting to do review and that you guys find interesting, I'll keep trying to do reviews. But I'm not going to be the first to do the review. I'm going to be one of the last, and so. But if you like these toy chats, I'm up for doing more of them. So let me know when the video goes regular. Hopefully you'll come back and maybe leave a comment what you thought about it, and I'll go through. And if you guys like this, we'll do some more. If you like the trivia, I'm sure you like the giveaways, but I definitely have some more stuff that I can give away. So, like I said, let me know. But thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for everybody who stopped by and checked it out today. I do appreciate it. Just, sitting here listening to me ramble on, I'm sure it can be boring. So I do appreciate everyone who supports the channel and watches it on a regular basis. So, probably will be doing, like I said, hopefully Hasbro will have a couple preview reveals tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have some, maybe a new G.I. Joe or something, a new Marvel Legend to talk about tomorrow. So I probably will be doing a news video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.